Hello, everyone. Welcome back to episode 26 of our Coordinator Climate series here on Football Coach College Dynasty. Last we left off, we began the 2035 season, and so far, things are going pretty well. If you missed last episode, please go check that out. We had a lot of fun. We're 6-3 through 9 games. We opened the season beating number six Washington, who they themselves are currently 8-1. Their only loss being to yours truly. And then we beat Texas to open conference play, lost a close one to South Carolina, followed it up with close win over Mississippi State, destroyed Jacksonville State, lost, unfortunately, as we often do, to our rivals at Tennessee, beat ranked Florida, lost to the number one team in the country, Bama, by 10, and then just beat a horrendous Pitt team by 4 points. That is where things stand. Today, we will finish the regular season. We have at LSU to open, then home against number 18, Auburn, and number 10, Georgia. So, spend some time off stream looking at the rankings, looking at the schedules, and sort of seeing where teams will finish in conference play. And what I have determined is if we win out, we will make the playoff. Here's the simple math on that. First things first, this operates under the assumption that if we look at the SEC standings, that Bama will win the East Division, as it looks like they're going to do so pretty handedly. If they do, that's one SEC champion option. On the other side is A&M and Oklahoma. We really want A&M. If Oklahoma makes it to the SEC championship game and they win, we're in deep trouble. So we would like it to be an A&M versus Bama, and whoever wins is quite frankly irrelevant because they're both making it in anyway. So after that happens, we just have to be the third, fourth, maybe even the fifth best SEC team to have a shot. So let's explain. Our remaining games against LSU, who doesn't matter, Auburn and Georgia. If we beat both Auburn and Georgia by default, we will have a better SEC record than them. We'll be 5-3, and they both will have 4 losses in SEC play. That jumps us ahead of them. South Carolina at the moment, not only are they not ranked, they have to face Wyoming, they have to face Arkansas, who is and then Georgia. So at the moment, our path is looking pretty good ahead of them. Tennessee has 3 games remaining. They are playing Texas, who they'll probably beat, Bama, and then Auburn. They could very well lose both 2 of their last 3, and they could get knocked out of the rankings. There's a lot of movement ahead of us in the SEC where if we win out, we could position ourselves to take that 10th, 11th, 12th spot in the playoff. Now let's address the elephant in the room. One of our last opponents is Georgia. They're the 10 ranked team in the country. They're eighth in offensive talent, second in defensive talent. Their losses this year are to a Florida team that we beat, a Bama team that beat us, and then Auburn, who we have yet to play. They also face Oklahoma to close. They could lose that game and things could get dicey. That's obviously, a big stopping point in our grand scheme. However, I think the premise of today is very simple. We are going to play however many games are left in our season, whether it's we win out and make the playoff or we don't and we play a bowl game or what have you. Play through that. Coaches carousel will happen. Seniors graduating, players going for the draft will happen. Players transferring out will happen. And then we will stop right at the transfer portal where we will go on the state mandated holiday break. I think that's a pretty good stopping point for the series for the next couple weeks. So let us now look at the plan going forward. In terms of AD goal, we already satisfied it. Win at least 5 games. We've won 6 already. Player promises: Clayton Harmon win at least 11 games. The only way we do that is if we win our next 3 and make the playoff, and then even then we would have to win 2 more. So that one is probably out. Carter Bowie playing at least 40%. He's at 43. His fellow corner Samuel Baird is at 40 and needs 40. Something to monitor. Leo Riddle needs 40%. He's at 71. And then DeAndre Shorter wanted 50 carries. He currently has 77. So we are good to go. We're guaranteed to get at least 2. And for this LSU game on the cornerback front, I've flipped the depth chart where Bowie and Baird are going to be our top 2 corners. Carrera, Ellis will be 3 and 4, just to get them a decent amount of snaps in this game because I really don't want them being my 1 and 2 in either the Auburn or Georgia game. So that there has been taken care of. Everything else is as it was at the end of last stream in linebackers here. I sort of flipped the depth options at linebacker. Elijah On and Miles Byron. They're going to play over Reginald Chandler. The reason is obvious. Chandler has allowed 12 of 14 targets to be completed. Enough said. So that's the plan for today. I think if we win out, we have a realistic shot to make the playoffs at 9 and 3. If we lose even one of these games, that's it. The dream is over. And we'll be playing for pride and a bowl game. So, checking in really quick before we get started on our freshman quarterback, Alex Palmer. At the moment, through 9 games, he's 193 at 284, which is 68% completion. We'll take that. He has 1,700 yards, 14 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. He's averaging about 192 yards a game. He has been sacked 32 times, which, if you're curious, the sacks our O line is allowed is good enough for 124th in the country. There are 136 teams, so we'll leave that there. But hopefully, shouldn't be an issue going forward. We open against LSU in Death Valley, Baton Rouge, Louisiana. LSU only has 1 SEC win and is against Mizzou. Other than that, they've beaten their 3 out of conference opponents. That is it. But nonetheless, they're still 7th in offensive talent. They have played, top 10 hardest schedule. So, this isn't going to be a pushover game. They have 10 recruits visiting, including a handful of 4 stars and even this random 2-star kicker who looks like has terrible power but okay accuracy. So far in the sim, we beat LSU in year 1, 13-12. They beat us last year, 10-6. So we're looking to avenge that here today. Without further ado, let us begin. We will call tails as it never fails. Part of the reason it never fails is even when it goes heads, the AI elects to receive more often than not. So, all right, we will open on defense, as we always do, with a blitz. And Haydenwood gets us a sack to start. Very good, very good. They convert the 3rd and 8, though, and then they get a 28 yards. Fair enough. Fair enough. As LSU drives down the field, not looking good. They're at the 2. Then a tackle for a loss, and they miss a 20-yard field goal. This is something I talked about in previous videos. I feel like it should clarify whether a field goal is blocked or not, because let's be frank, if you're missing a 20-yarder, odds are it got blocked, but there's no field goal return or anything like that in the game. So we will just take what we can get and like it. And now we have the ball at our own 20. Chew clock will be on, as is our want. 3rd and 3. I'm going to pass. We'll try hitches. Didn't work. We punt. Engage 8 there. Nathaniel Long with the sack. Very good, sir. 3rd and 13. Incomplete. LSU punts. All right. Much better drive for our defense. RPO bubble screen failed miserably. And a couple incompletions. We punt once again. And another tackle for a loss. Nathan Hoffman. That means already for our defense, 4 tackles for a loss, 2 sacks. Pretty good. Pretty good. 3rd and 2. I'm going to run it. And if we don't get it, I'm going for it. All right. Harmon gets me 2. We're okay. DeAndre Shorter gets me a first down. The screen worked. There we go. 1st and goal at the 2. 2nd and goal at the 1. Harmon runs it in. We're on the board. We're looking good. And Campaign with the sack. And DeAndre Shorter muffed the punts. That's 1. That's 3 muff punts we've had this season. The first one by Shorter. 3rd and goal at the 2. There we go. All right, we hold them to a field goal. Good job by our defense, but that muff punt there killed us. We had all the momentum in the world. Palmer is sacked. Not great. They have the ball back. I'm not going to blitz. I think we'll sit back a little bit. Never mind. There we go. Campaign tackle for a loss. Very nice. And they're already at the 5 and a touchdown. LSU gets the lead. The AI is like, no, you'll just kick it. Or you'll just run the clock out. And you know what? You're right. Well, that sucked. Thank God we were doing good until the muffed punt return. And everything just turned ugly. And DeAndre Shorter lost 2 yards. We punt. Brian Pierce with a sack. Very good. LSU punts. Okay. Let's breathe. Everybody take a moment. Let's assess the current situation. The situation is not looking good. Oh, boy. All right. Let's try and see if we can get him with slants. 2 yards, and then Palmer is sacked. We punt, and now they muffed the punt. Nobody wants to win this game. You know what? I respect that on some level. Nehemiah Ruffin gets me a first down. Very good. 3rd and 1. I'm actually going to go QB sneak here. We get it. 1st and goal at the 2. I'm going to pass it once. Didn't work. Palmer got sacked. But pass it again. There we go. Aiden Page touchdown on the slants. Extra point is good. All right, 4-point lead. Let's go. 3rd and 9. I mean, I'm just going to stay in zone. Like, they're not really beating our zone that much, which is very good. We convert the 3rd and 2 there. That's big. Palmer is sacked again. That's the 4th sack by LSU. Big 20-yard gain there on 3rd and 8. That may have just saved us the game. Gavin Butler gets us close. 2nd and goal at the 4. I'm going to run it once. And Clayton Harmon runs it in. 11-point game now. So a field goal does not help LSU. They're staying in that I formation. 26-yard gain. And Connor Bowie with the interception. Good for you, sir. Like now we're just going to run the ball quite a bit. Sweep? No, that didn't work. I ran it up the middle on 3rd and 11 and we got the conversion. Oh, that's funny. That is quite funny. 3rd and 3, I mean, I'm just going to keep running it. I mean, LSU's already burning timeouts. I might as well just keep going. We're just going to run the ball, 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 run the ball. Field goal for Pride. There we go. All right. And we made their third down and fourth down conversion rate a little bit worse there. So we get the win 24-10. Our defense did great. I mean, they got, I think, one long touchdown drive. Other than that, really happy with how the defense played. I think them missing a chip shot field goal early was good, but overall pretty good. Palmer, I mean, we only threw it 21 times, 16 completions, 110 yards, ran it 45 times. Really good on the ground, which I like. Page gets a touchdown. We did have a turnover, shorter muff the punt, so that works against us for the donor goal. But 11 tackles for loss, 4 sacks, really, really good. Much needed win. All right, let us advance and see how some of the other teams in the SEC did. With any luck, they all lost somehow, even though they're playing each other. All right, we move up to 21. Ooh, Page is out. All right, Page is out for 1 week, so I'm literally just going to make him inactive for 1 week. That'll bump Roy Cobb back into the starting ranks. He's beginning to complain about playing time, which, is fair. But we do get the win. No recruits committed, which is a little annoying. All right. Oh, I can schedule Zane Tyson at the Georgia game. You know what? Why not? Oh, yeah. One quick addendum. I did a little bit of just scouting and checking the recruiting list off stream. I found a 2-star tight end with A- potential. He's also from Tennessee, which is another reason why he's on this list. I kind of see him as more of an O lineman. He's a little small for that, though, so we'll see how that shakes out. He just needs a bunch of strength in the worst way. I also offered NIL to various players. John Paul Mayfield, I offered 430,000, which is essentially his market value, to get us a little closer to Maryland. Since I know Mayfield doesn't look great on paper, but I could move him to D line if he gets that block shed up. He's not great in coverage, but his IQ is solid. Physicals are fine. I could do a lot worse. I offered 250,000 to Damian Perry to get us closer to him. I think, obviously he would redshirt because his ball skills aren't great, but athleticism, physically, do the job. And then I wrote Desmond Covington a check for $100,000, and he is probably going to be playing for us. I would assume his first JUCO year of eligibility. And then, of course, we have the Iowa State. See, this is just stupid. You're telling me Iowa State 5-4 with bowl aspirations, they lose to a 1-win team by 17 points. And somehow the game atmosphere is so good they get nearly 400 points on that alone. That seems a tad silly. So we're behind on Carlo Mann now, which honestly isn't the end of the world. He's not that speedy, he's not that strong, but he'd be a good depth option for us. Zion Graves, I mean, I'm still racing with BYU for. We'll see how that pans out. But I mean, there's a good chance, like if we beat Auburn, we could have like 5 commits off this visit alone. So this is going to be a pretty big game for those purposes. All right, let me check in on the SEC. So Georgia and Auburn both won, which is unfortunate. Yeah, I think now in terms of the SEC, okay, Oklahoma lost. That's great. Yeah, we need A&M to keep winning. We need Bama to keep winning so that they face each other in the SEC title game. The winner is irrelevant. If we beat Auburn and Georgia, we catapult ahead of them. Who's Tennessee play? Bama. Yeah, they're not. They're not. They just lost to Texas. They're not beating Bama and Auburn. So if we win out, we could very well be third in the SEC in terms of overall record. That might be good enough to get us in the playoff because right now we're at 21. Penn State just lost. Oklahoma just lost. Florida State lost. The other thing that's going to help me is the ACC is going to beat itself because Clemson's up here at 12. Florida State's at 16. Duke is at 25. So not all of them are like only one of those teams is going to make it. Okay. Our chance in the playoff is still alive. Now, before I forget, Carrera back up, Justin Ellis back up, Bowie Baird, Montiel. Okay. Here we go. Everyone, take a breath, take a moment. Auburn. All right, this is the biggest game of the season for us. They are 7-3, 4-3 in conference play. They beat Kentucky, who, as a reminder from last episode, Kentucky and Ole Miss no longer in the SEC. They're both in the American. They beat Kentucky. They beat the Raging Cajuns and UNLV. It's a pretty okay out of conference. They beat Georgia by 3. They lost to Texas. Texas is just having such a random season. Like we beat them, A&M beats them, but then they beat Auburn. They just beat Tennessee. They lose. They take an undefeated JMU team to overtime. What an odd season. Anyway, Auburn. They are on a 5-game winning streak, which is a little terrifying. Oh, good. They've only allowed 9 sacks the whole season. That must be nice. They're not very good against the run. 96 in the country in rush yards per attempt. We could get them on that. Okay. Their strength of schedule is 3rd. What are we? We're 5th. Fair. Okay. Oh, did we hold LSU? Yeah, we held LSU to under 125 yards rushing, so we get the gold donor goals. Okay, folks, here we go. It is a pick'em game, though we're at home, so technically in a neutral site, Auburn would be favored. I have 9 recruits visiting, all of them with exception of Oliver Burks, the O-lineman, is still a close-ish fight. So a win here, very crucial. In the matchups, we play Auburn every year, and they have beat us 3 years in a row. Last year, they beat us by 6 points. If we win this game, we have a decent chance to make the playoff. A lot of recruits are happy, and we are guaranteed to have a better record than last season. If we lose it, no playoff hope. Best we can do is a bowl game, and things are going to turn a bit sour. So, let us begin. Flip the coin. Auburn calls heads. It is tails. We defer. All right, we're going to take it slow. We're going to sim slow. We're going to breathe. Let's rock. They're in the shotgun. How dare they? Da! They ran it on us. Let's try blitzing. Didn't work. They scrambled. Wow, we did an outside linebacker blitz. They did a deep shot. I think any other passing routes there, they get a conversion. 3rd and 4, they're still in the pistol. I am going to do a contain. They got the first down, 8-yard completion off the slants. 3rd and 4. They get the conversion again, man. That's both third downs they got. Oh boy. Just drop back into zone. Very good. Hayden Wood tackle for a loss. We're going to stay in zone. Incomplete field goal. Okay. Terrible or kickoff return by DeAndre, but that's okay. All right, let's run it. 2 yards and an incompletion. We punt, and they have pretty good field position. Ooh, 3rd and 8. Duh, they got it. Man, our defense just cannot stop them. Okay, they missed the 47-yarder. That's huge. Everybody breathe. Everybody breathe. Let's see if we can beat them with an outside run. All right, 6 yards. Gonna run it once. I'm gonna pass it on 3rd and 3. There we go. Peyton Porter over the middle, 6 yards. That'll play. Good there. Oh, Palmer is sacked. 3rd and 6. Let's try middle slant. Sacked again, man. That drive had a bit of promise. All right, tackle for a loss by Hussein. Very good. They failed to convert. They punt. Let's rock and roll. Good Lord, they did an under smoke blitz. How do they do an under smoke blitz and you can't connect with one of these two? I'm not going to ask questions. I feel like I should, but I won't. 3rd and 3. I'm going to run it this time. Harmon got blown up for a loss of 2. Ay, 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 ay. Blitz didn't work. Worked that time, though. 3rd and 4. They're going empty. Incomplete. They punt. Our defense is doing really good, which is what makes my current offensive performance all the worse. There we go. Gavin Butler, 17 yards. All right, let's keep it moving. I think sacks is what killed the last drive, so we got to be careful. There we go. 11-yard pass to Marcos Robertson. We're moving, folks. And Harmon gets me 0 yards. We've suddenly stopped moving. 3rd and 4 is tricky. I think I would like to run it in the hopes that I get 2-3 yards and make the 4th down easier. But I think I'm just going to pass it and see if they beat us. There we go. Porter over the middle, 9 yards, 1st down. Let's keep it moving. The 0-yard gain on 1st and 10 is becoming a problem. Oh, Palmer sacked. I think we'll try slot outs. Incomplete. Yeah. Oh, Gates dropped the pass. That's a big one because if he catches that and says gets like 8 yards, yeah, it's still a 50-yard field goal. We'll punt it. Terrible punt. He returned at 10 yards. I'm telling you, we have the worst special teams in the country. And there's nothing as a coach I can do to fix that. It's just a simple truth that we do. Man, our defense is just getting taken to town here. They missed the field goal. Okay. I have all 3 timeouts as designed because I didn't want the AI calling timeouts there on the off chance that they kept driving. So 33 seconds, all 3 timeouts. Let's party. All right. 9 yards on the first play. Very good. 9 yards on the second. Not great. See if we can do slants over the middle to burn them. Okay. What is it right now? 52-yarder, 13 seconds. I doubt I get closer. Let's try slot outs. There we go. 12-yard gain out of bounds. 40-yard field goal at the death. And it's good, tie game. There we go. And that is why you don't let the AI beat itself. Because if the AI is calling timeouts here, then maybe Auburn gets down the field more, they score. But instead, take control of the clock. The AI can't call timeouts at all. That gives me 3 timeouts. And all I needed really to get there was 40 yards, maybe even 35. That's worth it. And now it's a tie ball game. And we get the ball to start the second half. Very good. All right, let's look at some numbers. So they're outgaining us, obviously. They're only averaging 4 yards a pass, which I like. But I mean, dude, we're averaging 1.8 yards a rush. Obviously, the sacks don't help with that. But even if you take out the sacks, we have 42 yards rushing? That's still bad. We're 2 of 6 on third down, they're third and 9. Okay. All right. So I think the pass is definitely having more success. I say that and immediately becomes incomplete. There we go. Bad time for them to do a free safety blitz when I call the sweep. All right. Harmon gets me 7. Let's run it again. There we go. He gets me 3. 14-yard pass to Eden. Okay. We're moving. Let's see if we can get that run game going. Shorter gets me 7. All right. All right. All right. Burn him with the play action. Burn him with the play action. Gavin Butler, 19-yard touchdown. Extra point is good. Calm. Everyone calm. We're up by 7. Here we go. Here we go. Third and 10. I'm just going to keep dropping back into zone. Incomplete. They punt. Calm. Calm. All right, we're going back to the run. Only 2 yards there is bad, but 12 yards to Gavin Butler is good. Hashtag analysis. Second and 6. I'm going to run it. Third and 2 at the 45. I think I'm going to run it. And then if we don't get it, depending on what happens, I may just go for it. No need. Harmon gets us the conversion. They sacked us. We're in trouble. 10-yard scramble. Very good. We get the conversion again. All right, we're moving. 2-yard run there is not great. Robertson gets us the conversion. Yeah. I think actually for this game, I'm going to shorten the running backs up. It's just going to be Harmon and Shorter. I don't want too much rotation the rest of the way. Second and 7. Let's do slants. Third and 2. We just love third and 2. Let's run it. Harmon goes backwards. Fourth and 3 at the 14. I think I'd take the field goal here. Try to go up by 10. And it's good. Okay. I think the argument for going for it, obviously, is you get a touchdown. You're up by 14. But fourth and 3, there's a little. I think if we gain a yard or even if we get stopped on that third down, I go for it. But losing yards sucked. And Auburn immediately just got 4 straight first downs. Must be nice. Wow. Okay. Auburn arrived. I mean, I'm just going to keep doing goal line, man. They don't get anywhere and they get a field goal. That's huge. They got 4 straight first downs on that? They got 4 straight. Bang, 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 bang. All right. All right, let's take our time. There we go. 2 good rushes. Thank you, DeAndre. Incomplete on 2nd and 8. 3rd and 8. Let's try middle slant. 4th and 3 at our own 45 is rough. I mean, if I go for it and I don't get it, I am gifting them at minimum a field goal. They'd need to get 15 yards. If I punt it, though, they have to go the whole length of the field ish. I'm going to go for it. We're going to go for it. 4th and 3. We're going to try quick slants with Porter going over the middle. It has had success today. 4th and 3. Send it. No dice. Incomplete. He even threw it to Porter. All right. Defense needs to get a stop. They get the first down. They're in field goal range now. 3rd and 9. They don't get it. It's a long field goal. Ah, they made it. 48-yarder. Okay. All right. It's a 4-point game. 3rd and 4 will pass. Ooh, Palmer is sacked. Oh, that's terrible. And they have good field position again. And they are driving. I think I'm going to blitz. Good call. 3rd and 2, I'm going to go contain. It worked. Elijah on with the tackle for a loss. Okay. 4th and 5. This decides the game. If Auburn doesn't get it, we run out the clock and win. If Auburn gets it, it scores. That's probably ball game. Let's line up. They're in the pistol. I'm going to sit in cover 3. Here we go. Duh. They got it. 13-yard pass. They got it. All right. 1st and 8. They're staying 5 wide. Incomplete. And they get the touchdown. Oh, man. Down by 3, 57 seconds. We need another miracle drive. Yeah, the defense let us down there. All right. Here we go. 57 seconds. Field goal ties it up. Touchdown, we win. 20-yard pass to Marcos Robertson. Let's go. We're at midfield. I'm not doing a play action. Are you insane? All right. Sticks gets me 7. We still have not used a single timeout, by the by. And Marcos Robertson, 30 yards to the 4. Breathe. Calm. 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 Everyone, calm. Calm. We're at the 4. I'm trying to think if there's a logical reason to switch off of up-tempo right now, and I think the answer is no. We're going to run it once. And we get it. Clayton Harmon touchdown. The extra point is huge. We get it. We're up by 4. Here we go, folks. What a drive. Game of the season. Auburn has 19 seconds. They do have all their timeouts because I kept it on up-tempo. I didn't want to risk any clock shenanigans. Here we go. Incomplete. And sacked by Hayden Wood. Ran out of time. That's your ball game. We upset Auburn 20-16. Let's go. Oh, what a game. Folks, Alex Palmer, as a freshman, leads a 5-play, 75-yard, 31-second drive. 6-yard pass to Harmon, out of bounds. 28-yard pass to Robertson, out of bounds. 7-yard pass to Robertson, out of bounds. 30-yard pass to Robertson, out of bounds. Harmon runs it in for a score. Unbelievable. What a win against Auburn there. What a win. Alex Palmer, take a bow. 18-25, 213 yards, got a touchdown. Very good there to close. Wow. That's huge. That drive legitimately could change the trajectory of this program. Let's advance. If Auburn is still ranked ahead of us in the rankings, by the way, I can't be held responsible for what I say to the AP voters. Surely we're in the top 15. Surely. There we go. We're 14. Certified classic, obviously. Very good. Where's Auburn ranked now? 23. Oh, 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 oh. The path to the playoff is clear, folks. All right. Aiden Page is back. He's going to go all the way back up there. Was Roy Cobb even targeted in that game? No. It's kind of rough. Oh yeah, I did want to look. What was Robertson's final stat line in that game? 8 catches, 110 yards. Very good. What a transfer, dude. This guy was sitting down, buried in the depth chart at Wake Forest. We rescue him. Oh boy. All right, we got 2 commits, which is less than I thought we'd get. Ooh. All right, we get 4-star D lineman Raymond Veal, 68 overall, A minus potential. I mean, his strength is already good. Block shed's good. He'll definitely need to develop that IQ a little bit, but A minus potential, 4-star rating. Come on. And then Oliver Burks, who I wish the potential was better. That goes without saying, but he's got mid 60s, 68 strength, 67 pass block. That could develop into something. I think if his potential goes down, we're kind of in trouble, but he could be something there. All right, let's get those 2 off my list. Let me look at the recruiting visit. Oh, come on. We got 9:45 for Kelly, and Northwestern is still ahead of us. They're killing me. All right, we're 6:44 ahead on Costello, which is big. We got 11. Look at that. Look at all those bonuses, folks. We got 1,100 points on Costello. That's massive. That is insanity. I mean, yeah, that pretty much guarantees us everyone on this list, with exception of Cole Kelly, who Northwestern clearly think is going to be their greatest quarterback in the history of the program, which, he might be. All right, let's take a look. So at this point, we're not going to get Carlo Mann unless we offer money. And the question becomes, do I want to offer money for Carlo? It looks like we're already getting Cole McNeil, but he's depth, really. Man, I mean, his speed is bad. His strength is worse. His ball care vision isn't great. His potential is a C minus. I think, honestly, I kind of think I'm out and we look elsewhere running back. He a really good ball scary, though. I'll still do, maybe on Ace Pitch, but I'll do a great one to see what or not Northwestern, what Iowa State does going forward. All right, John Paul Mayfield, I think I need to make a call on whether to increase the money. If I offer him an ace pitch and say give him an extra 100,000, that gets me 624. I think that's fine. Damian Perry, we should just beat Tennessee on with our good pitches. Same with Zion Graves at BYU. What did Northwestern up? 1.8 million to make it a total of 2.7. Are they aware that he just doesn't care about money? Like, they've offered him what, 2.7? So if I were to offer him that, what an odd, I'm not going to complain. All that gets is 256 points. Like, that's it. I'm not doing that. I'm just going to do the best pitch I can and roll the dice. It is hilarious that I got 945 points on the visit, and yet I'm still behind because they're just shelling out the money. But I mean, I get it. Like college life is one of his biggest priorities. I'm a B. Northwestern is an S. So, which is a shame because I think Cole Kelly is going to be a really good QB. Ooh, Wake Forest. They beat North Carolina and got 760 points. All right. They're 242 away now. I'm still okay with it. It looks like we're going to get Costello, which is big. Yeah, everyone else is guaranteed. So I think everyone else on this page we get unless JMU offers money for Covington. And I think we're probably going to be out on Man. Mayfield we'll see. Perry, Graves we should get mathematically. And then Cole Kelly is the only other question. And I like Kelly. I think, his nothing he does wows you. I mean, the 79 IQ as a recruit is really good. 71 arm strength is a little scary for, me who runs air raid, but I mean, again, we don't do the deep ball that much. We do get the win. Okay. Now, let me do a quick check in on the rest of the SEC. First, Georgia, did they win? They did. That's unfortunate. They beat South Carolina. Okay. Mm. Tennessee beat Bama. Oh, that's terrible. That's actually really bad. Hmm. Yeah, that's so we need. All right, let's think about this. So, yeah, A&M. So A&M is going to win the West. I'm going to be above. Who's Arkansas playing? A&M. Okay. So I'm going to be above every team in the SEC West except A&M, which is fine. A&M and Bama are in. That's two. If I beat Georgia, I'm ahead of them. My only then threat is Tennessee. So I need to beat Georgia, and then Auburn needs to beat Tennessee. I then become the third ranked SEC team. Because I would go ahead of Georgia because they'd lose. Tennessee would lose to who now is ranked 23. I go ahead of them. That's the math. I need to win, and I need Auburn to beat Tennessee. I think if that happens, we are in the playoff. Let me check general rankings. Michigan lost. That's big. Thanks, Purdue. Notre Dame lost. They're done. USF lost. So JMU is in for one of the Power Five. We'll see about the shout out to Boston College at 8-3 in the ACC. They just beat Notre Dame. Good for them. But yeah, I think that's my easiest path. We beat Georgia. Auburn beats Tennessee. We should be in the playoff. All right, let's do a quick check in. 40, 47. Okay. So snap percentage, we're okay. All right, here we go. Here we go. This is very simple. Hi, Georgia. They're 8-3, 5-3 in the SEC. They beat Jacksonville State, Arkansas State, and BYU out of conference. It's a little weak out of conference, Georgia. They beat Tennessee, who we didn't. They're the only team to beat A&M, which is a little scary. Lost to Bama, lost to Ann Arbor, a team that we just beat. And they just beat South Carolina by 42. You have no idea how much I hate that South Carolina beat us. Like, man. Their defense allowed Tennessee to score 44. We can only score 12 against them. That's so upsetting. All right. Here we go. Before I forget, let me go back to 3 in the running back rotation. Georgia, sweet Georgia. They're favored by 8. We are at home. I have one single recruit visiting, for which the result of this game won't matter. Georgia has beaten us in blowouts the both other times we've played. But now, we're a better team. We have playoff hopes, dang it. Let's begin the coin toss, everybody. Get a drink, get a snack. We're in for a game here. Georgia wins the toss. They elect to receive, hence why tails never fails. All right, tackle for a loss in the first play. We're in business. 13-yard pass. We're out of business. 22-yard pass. We're foreclosing. Let's go back to zone. 3rd and 6. A lot of teams are running the I formation. Ooh, 4th and 3. They're going for it. I am going to call the exact same thing. I'm going to go contain. They get us on the slants. All right. So they get the 4th down conversion there, but they have to settle for a field goal and they make it. Okay. We had a chance to get off the field there. I'm a little annoyed we didn't do it, but they only get 3. Okay. 1-yard run to open. Where it's so back. There we go. Okay, we got a first down. Oh, and then Palmer is sacked. 3rd and 9. Let's sling it. There we go. Eaton gets me 9. We're moving. Harmon gets me 10. Ruffin gets me 6. Nehemiah Ruffin, for as much as I thought he was terrible in the first year he started playing for us, he's been very consistent. 3rd and 3, you say? I think I'm going to run it, and if we don't get it, I might go for it. So it's a 43-yarder, which he has missed 2 in that medium, or he's missed 3 in that medium range. It's not a gimme. I'm going to go for it. We're going to run it right up the middle and beg him to beat us. They don't. Clayton Harmon converts. Okay. There we go. DeAndre Shorter gets me 10. We're in the red zone. There we go. Hitches. Deflected. We're going to run it on 3rd and 2. There we go. Harmon gets me to the 3. I'm going to do 1 pass. Incomplete. Robertson dropped a touchdown. I don't want to talk about it. 3rd and goal at the 4. I lied. I'm going to do another pass. Man. Oh, that was gift wrap to us. 1st and goal at the 3. Robertson dropped the pass. Ay, 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 ay. That was a 21 play drive. That was crazy. Oh boy. All right. They got 3 straight first downs there. 3rd and 7. They convert. And Matthew Hussein forces the fumble. Brian Pierce takes it all the way to the 3. 78-yard return. Okay. If we have to settle for another field goal after 1st and goal to 3. QB sneak. There we go. Palmer gets it in. We're up 10-3. Calm. 2nd and 9. I'm going to blitz. Hayden Wood gets the tackle for a loss. 3rd and 12. Incomplete. They punt. Calm. Calma. Calma. All right. DeAndre Shorter gets me 8. I'm just saying keep running it. There we go. Harmon gets me 19. We are averaging 4.7 yards a rush right now. Let's try slants. 2nd and 6. Gets me 3. I'm going to run it on 3rd and 3. We get the conversion. Thank you, DeAndre. Gregory gets me 9. There we go. We're burning clock also. There we go. Nehemiah Ruffin, 13-yard touchdown. We're up by 14. Calm. If we can stop them, Brian Pierce tackle for a loss. Incomplete. They punt. We have the ball at our own 41, minute 45, all timeouts, 36-yard to Eduardo Gates. Oh, boy. So we have, this is now our game to lose. This is our game to lose. Let's be rational. I'm going to run it once. That failed miserably. The pass worked. We're at the 13. I'm going to run it to the outside. Got me to the 2. I'm going to go to normal now, not 2 clock. Run it once. Run it again. Harmon scores. Extra point is good. We are up by 21. And we get the ball. Okay. Let's run it. Here we go. How long? It's the 6th play, 60 yards, minute 43. Love it. All right. Let's try slants. Incomplete. 0-yard scramble. I think we call that a sack. Incomplete again. We punt. Okay. Felipe Clark with a sack. That's huge. They convert the 3rd and 6. That's bad. We had a chance to get a nice 3 and out there. No dice, though. Yeah, they're at the 12. All right. Georgia has arrived. We hold them to a field goal. Okay, you go from being down 21 to down by 18. Ask me if I care. I'll take that. All right. Let's get back to running the ball. Outside handoff. 18 yards, Clayton Harmon. Thank you, sir. 3rd and 1. I'm going to run it. We got the first. Why would I do 4 verts? This game just wants me to have some chaos. 3rd and 8. Let's try slot outs. It worked. 8-yard scramble. Very good, Alex. Play action. Failed miserably. 3rd and 9. Let's see if we can burn them with slants. 47 yards is about his range. A punt here, I highly doubt Roach can burn them. So I'll kick the field goal. And it's good. That's real talk. That's like really big. I know like 18 versus 21 isn't much, but that means nearly 12 minutes just went off the clock, and Georgia is back precisely to where they were at the start of the half. That's huge. That's 12 minutes of nothing. Blitz. And Adrian Carrera picks off Albert Tucker. Folks, we might do it. We might do it. I'm just going to keep running the ball. Ooh, play action. Let's get him. Eduardo Gates to the 5. I'm going to run it. Harmon went backwards. Extra point is good. And now I will draw everyone's attention. We are up by 24. That is when the backups come in. My backups are now in on defense against Georgia. If you had told me that would have happened, I would have called you a liar. My backups are getting destroyed. Okay, 2nd and 11. 3rd and 9. We're going to drop back in zone. Incomplete. They miss the field goal. All right, my backups are now in on offense against Georgia. What an insane statement. We just got 18 yards off of play action. We're the team of destiny. We are the team of destiny. Now I'm just going to run it a bunch to end the game. And Felipe Brinkley, the freshman, 19-yard touchdown. What is this game? What even is happening? We're the team of destiny. Send the blitz. Tackle for a loss. Diego Pierce. Very good. I want to keep them out of the end zone. Like, this is about pride. Doesn't look like it's going to happen. It does. Clock runs out. We beat Georgia 37-6. How? What? How? If I didn't play through it, I wouldn't have believed it. But I mean, like, they scored 3 points to open the game and then didn't score again until 8 minutes left in the third quarter. I think my defense deserves medals. Like, got a fumble and also returned it 78 yards, 3 and out, 3 and out. And we scored a touchdown on every drive. We scored on every drive in the first half. That is insane. And then even when, we punted, they got a field goal, we got a field goal back, immediate turnover, kicked a field goal. They missed, we got a touchdown. Alex Palmer, 12 and 19, 119 yards. Have a day, son. We didn't turn the ball over. Wow. Nearly every running back on my team got a touchdown. And we didn't throw it that much, but that's okay. Wow. 8 tackles for a loss, only 1 sack, but that's fine. And then Larson was perfect on kicks. Wow. We won 37-6. I still can't believe it. We went 9-3. That's unbelievable. Everyone, take a drink. Everybody, take a drink. Ooh, we're 10th. We're ranked 10. Okay. Let's look at league rankings. Tennessee lost. They're gone. Auburn won. Tennessee's no longer ranked. Oh, folks. We could. Okay. Okay. Let's do recruiting. 2 players committed. McNeil commits, as does Tyson. If we don't make the playoffs, I am going to say words, but we'll cross that bridge when we get there. Uh, do I want to offer money for Carlo? Man, I mean, he does extremely care, but like, I would need to offer enough to get like a 800-point pitch, which would be like 350,000. I think I'm okay with that. Ooh, Northwestern. They did a good pitch, so I'd have to offer money, but he doesn't care about money. What gets me above 150? 1.7. I don't think he's worth that. I'm going to hold for now. Me and Tennessee are currently tied for Perry, which is crazy. Yeah, we're pulling ahead on Covington. Nah, I don't think I'm going to offer money for Kelly. Okay. So, currently we're 10th. I'm scared. Let's advance past everyone's bye week, Army Navy game, etc., etc. And he commits 1. And it's Pierce Hartfield, the coverage corner, who I like a lot. He'll probably play as a redshirt freshman. Oh, we're ahead of Kelly. They took their foot off the gas. They did target player. Well, well, well. Uh-oh. Tennessee's offering more for Perry. I'm gonna up that an additional 200,000. That gets me 666 points. I'm cursed. I've cursed my team, but that's okay. All right, we're looking good. We're pretty ahead for Carlo Mann now also. We're looking good. Man, this selection show is going to be. I'm scared. I'm really scared. I don't think I care about Bama A&M results because even if A&M loses, they still have a better record than us. They're probably still in over us. Or ahead of us, I should say, not over. Okay. First, let me just see the results. A&M won. But, ooh, Kansas State lost. That's good for us. Okay. Everyone breathe. Everyone take a moment, get a glass. Here we go. 25 USC, who cares? Tennessee finished 20th. Auburn finished 18. Here we go. Here we go. 14. Georgia, they're out. Oh boy. Oh boy. We are either the last team out. Oh boy. Oh boy. Here we go. 13. Penn State, we're in. Ooh, we're in the playoff. Give me the number. 12. Come on. Very good. Notre Dame's 11, Kansas State 10, UC at 9, Stanford 8, Wisconsin 7, Clemson 6, Bama 5, OSU 4, Washington 3, A&M 2, James Madison, your number 1 seed. Folks, we're in the playoff. I didn't realize we play Bama. Oh, no. You know what? Fine. Rematch. It's on. It's on. Oh, boy. We get Bama. I would have literally preferred to play any other team besides Wisconsin on this list. Oh, boy. We dropped 2 spots. Oh, no. Whatever will I do? We made the playoff. Who cares? So who? Yeah, Penn State goes 9-3 and they miss out. They lost to Wisconsin, Michigan. Oh, they lost to 1-8 Nebraska. Oh no, Penn State. Oh boy, and then they get Georgia. That's going to be an insane game. All right, recruiting. Cole Kelly makes his decision. Who does he sign with? Vandy. All right, we get Cole Kelly. I think he's obviously going to redshirt, and I imagine going to essentially be a career backup for probably 2 years, and then might play as a upperclassman. But we'll see. He's loyal, so he's not going to transfer out if he doesn't play, say, his freshman or sophomore year. All right. Yeah, really the only decision is, do we want to offer more money for Mayfield? To which, I mean, I'd need probably to be safe, do I think he's worth $680,000? Maybe. Because I'm viewing him as a D lineman. I'm not viewing him as a linebacker. I think he's worth that. I'll make the offer. We'll see. But if Maryland offers more money, forget it. That's about where I'm at. Everyone else, it looks like we're going to get pretty handedly. It's just a question of when they will commit. All right, it is now awards week. Let us advance and see if our Commodores took any awards. Freshman of the year. Is it? Is it? Third for Palmer. That's fair. I mean, Chandler threw for 3,500 yards, 20 touchdowns. Good God. But hey, Palmer's third. Palmer is third. Coach of the year, it's me. Yeah, I mean, come on. If we made coach of the year when would have been last season, so we were definitely going to make it here. That is essentially guaranteed our legacy score is going to be great because we now won coach of the year twice. Very good. All right. Thank you. Thank you. All American, we got two, both on the third team. Clayton Harmon, All American, 180 carries, 879 yards, 5 yards a carry, 15 touchdowns, 100 yards in the air. Deserved. Defensively, Hayden Wood, 50 tackles, 10 for a loss, 5 sacks, 15, 17 pressures, 5 pass deflections. Very good. All right, let us look first at the SEC team or all freshman teams. No all freshmen on the first team, but Alex Palmer, second team all freshman. Very good. He he made all freshman return man, but he has no stats. Collusion. Anyway. All right, SEC. First team all SEC. Harmon at running back. That's it. Second team, Crockett at O line, 24 pancakes, 3 sacks. Defensively, Hayden Wood, who I mentioned before, and then Carrera with his 11 tackles, 2 picks, 1 pick 6. He only allowed 39% completion percentage. Me moving him from safety to corner, brilliant decision if I do say so. All right, good results. 4 players committed. Xander Richard, who is going to take over at safety for us immediately. Cyrus Nash, who is going to redshirt and then maybe take over. Marlon Sanford, Tennessee local kid, get him in the building. Then Zion Graves, Tennessee tight end, get him in. All right, so that brings my target list down to 10 names. Yeah, Maryland, they've not offered any more money. So they will catch me in 3 weeks because their pitch is 50 better than mine. So we'll see how that plays. If I will say, if he takes this to the transfer portal, I might rescind my offer to get the money back for transfers. But we'll see. That's still a little ways away. Okay, folks, we won out and we made the playoff. It can be done. It has been done at Vanderbilt. We're in year 4 and we're in the playoff. And our reward is Bama. Our reward is Bama. All right, well, let's talk Bama. They went 11-2. Their only losses to Tennessee in Week 12 and A&M in Week 15. They beat us before 30-20 in a game that wasn't particularly anything too crazy. I think we just didn't run the ball that much. I had to pass it nearly 40 times, which didn't go great. And then their lead running back nearly averaged, he averaged almost 8 yards a carry. So that'll be tough. We're at 9 wins, so we still have to win two more games to get Harmon's goal. Oh, that's kind of funny. All right, let me look really quick. Yeah, we're number one in strength of schedule, by the way. We the hardest strength of schedule in the country, and we made the playoff. I'm just saying, folks. I'm trying to build a dynasty here, and I'm kind of succeeding. Okay. One thing I do want to do for Bama is apologies to Nehemiah Ruffin. He did pretty good against Georgia, but I'm only going to run it with Harmon and I think Shorter. This is less so that Ruffin gets the ball and more that I want Harmon to get as many touches as possible. Wide receivers, I think these six are fine. I'm almost tempted to flip Gates and Page, but in all honesty, I'm at the point where Gates might just transfer out. But that's a separate conversation. That's for later. Okay. Here we go. As a soft recap, to get to this point, we beat LSU by 14, beat Auburn in a classic, blew out Georgia, ending their playoff hopes. And now we find ourselves in a rematch against Oh, I forgot. First round games are played on campus. All right, we're in Tuscaloosa. Oh, they're favored by 13 points. Oh boy, they're number one in the country in rush yards per attempt. Cool, 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 cool. They have, I mean, to be fair, they're not a great passing team. They're just tremendous at running the ball. Hmm. Opposing fourth down conversion rate, 80%. In other words, they've allowed 4 of 5. Okay, here we go. So far, we beat Bama in year one at Vandy 28-21. And since then, they have destroyed us. Let us see now what will transpire in the playoff. I mean, we are the hottest team in the country, realistically. Like Bama just lost 2 out of 3. We won 3-0, including wins against Auburn and Georgia. We're the hottest team in the country. We have destiny on our side. Bama elects to receive rookie mistake. Wall stunt. Okay. Ooh, one thing I did forget to check, and I'll wait until he throws a pass, is whether their QB can run or not. Yep. Does that say 161 yards rushing? Okay. Well, that answers that question. Uh-oh. They're moving with a will. Oh, they do the triple option. I remember now. So I am going to do contain quite a bit. Campaign tackle for loss is huge. Incomplete, they punt. Folks, we force them to punt. We do have the ball at our own 6 yard line. So that's a little rough. Really? You got how do you get 0 yards against cover two drop? By definition, they only send 3. 3rd and 6. We're going to do slants with Porter over the middle. Incomplete. We punt, and they have phenomenal field position. Bad call to blitz the first time. The second blitz works. Tackle for a loss by Leo Riddle. That's huge. Incomplete. They make the 51-yard field goal. Caesar Bain. 2 of 9 on the season. He makes it against me. Man. This is why we can have nice things. Clayton Harmon, 18 yards out of the backfield. Let's go. Harmon then goes backwards. Fair. Let's try the deep attack. Incomplete. We punt. Not going great for our offense. Engage 8 there was a disaster. I don't want to talk about it. 3rd and 8. Drop back into zone. Incomplete. They punt. Our defense has looked good. Our defense has looked good. Really? You couldn't get a yard against Nickel? There we go. He gets me 7. We're okay. I was like, come on, man. Kelvin Eaton, 16 yards. We're in Bama territory. 3rd and 1. I'm going to run it. We get the conversion. No. Palmer is sacked. That loss of 7 sucks because that's field goal range also. 3rd and 12. Incomplete. Yeah, we punt. Oh, we didn't engage 8. They ran it right up the middle and got 53 yards. Man. Yeah, that sack there destroyed us. Yeah, they got it. All right. Bama is up by 10. Great kick return by DeAndre Shorter, 40-yard return. Let's see if we can make him pay here. 3rd and 3. I'm going to pass. Peyton Porter gets me 6. Thank you. Sacked on Verts is terrible. I'm going to keep Chew Clock on. We converted. Chew Clock is coming off. Let's run it once. That was an epic fail. All right, up tempo is back. 3rd and 4 from the 5. My usual plan would be to run it on 3rd down, then go for it on 4th. But we're playing a very good run defense team. Let's run hitches. And it works. Gregory on the hitch route on the left. Extra point is good. Okay. They do have a decent amount of time and 2 timeouts, which is a little scary. I'm going to blitz, try to get a sack. That failed. And they're already at the 11. They're already at the 2. They're already at the 1. That was a disaster. Man. Left them too much time. But that is what it is. Let's see if we can get a touchdown off of a play action bubble screen. We did not. Hail Mary. We score the touchdown off the Hail Mary. 46-yard touchdown. Nobody move. Calm. Calm. We're the team of destiny. We are the team of destiny. And we get the ball to start second half. That's the first time I've ever done anything good off a Hail Mary. We got the touchdown. We're the team of destiny. Here we go. Calm. Calm. Ooh, sacked on 2nd 9, but we convert on 3rd and 9. Let's go. 3rd and 5. Let's try Y corner. It succeeds. Robertson gets me 7. Very good. DeAndre Shorter gets me the 1st. We're in business. If we win because of a Hail Mary. Oh, Robertson dropped the hitch route. Let's try Y corner again. It succeeds. Peyton Porter gets me to the 2. I am going to run it up the middle 4 times. 1, 2. Touchdown for Palmer. We're up by 4. Nobody move. 3rd and 2. I don't care that they're in the spread. I'm blitzing. And they do an RPO screen, tackled by Hoffman. Bama punts. This is the drive. We take our time, go down the field, score a touchdown, right off into the sunset. Or Harmon goes backwards on 3rd and 1, and I punt, but they muff the punt. We recover. That was all part of my plan, actually. There we go. Harmon gets me to the 21. Let's keep running. 4th quarter begins. Spacing gets me to the 2. And Harmon runs it in. We are up by 11 on Bama. 14 minutes left on the clock. Bama punts. We convert the third and down off the play action. Folks, it's happening. Right as I say that, Clayton Harmon, who has had 0 fumbles his entire Vanderbilt career, has fumbled in the playoff game. There we go. Brian Pierce with the sack. Good man. They convert on 3rd and 10, and they get the touchdown. Oh, man. Okay. They're going for it. I am going to do contain. They get the 2-point. All right, 3-point game. And Harmon, after not fumbling in 2 years, fumbles twice against Bama, the second of which returned to the house. Wow. We were in Bama territory, up by 11. Harmon fumbles. And now, fast forward 3 minutes later, we're down by 4. Unbelievable. All right, well, we convert the 2nd and 9. We need a touchdown. And Palmer is picked. The collapse. The team of destiny. We've run out of time. We need to get like a 3 and out immediately. And instead, our defense lets them walk right down the field. Field goal. Okay, well, 12 seconds. All 3 timeouts. It's party. Incomplete. We are left with another Hail Mary, which falls incomplete. I have had some disappointing losses in this series. I will have disappointing losses in the future. We were up by 11 in Bama territory and driving. And Harmon fumbles. They score a touchdown in 5 plays. Harmon fumbles again. This time they take it 30 yards to the house. And then Palmer throws a pick. Man, that was our shot. We're not going to be in a better situation against Bama ever. That was our shot. Up 28-17, 10 minutes left in the game. We score a touchdown that drive. The game is over. Instead, they score 18 points and they beat us. Man, yeah. One thing that happened that couldn't happen, Harmon fumbled twice. Palmer had the pick. We were so clean until then. Harmon had the worst game of his career in the biggest game. And that was that. And our defense, I think, honestly, they didn't do great. Let's be frank. But, up until those turnovers, Bama had only scored 17 points in 3 quarters. I think if you would have given me that, all else equal, I would have taken it. Like, they didn't score for an entire quarter. We scored on a Hail Mary and it didn't matter. Like, we scored a 46-yard Hail Mary touchdown. And it did not matter because we lost. Like, look at this, man. We scored a touchdown. Not only does Bama go 3-and-out in the next drive, they don't get a single yard. We had it. And that was Clayton Harmon's last game of his career. Last game of his college career. Man. Mm. Well, from the highest of highs to winning three in a row to close, making the playoff, being 10 minutes away with a double digit lead, we have fallen. It's going to be really annoying when Bama wins the whole thing. All right. Elsewhere in the playoffs, Stanford beat UC. Notre Dame beat Clemson in overtime, and Wisconsin beat Kansas State by 3. What a lovely first round of games that was. All right, we have 4 commits. Julian Pettit, who we knew we were getting, really good safety. I might move him to corner if he gets a little quicker and the man coverage gets better. We get both kickers, both of whom are going to redshirt next year, and then Brady Poon will be my starting kicker for the next 2 years, and then you hear Knowles will just be a backup for us. Damian Perry, we get the speedy wide receiver who will definitely play as a redshirt freshman, may even play as a true freshman. So that brings me down to 6 players, 4 of whom I am over 1,600 points ahead on. The fact that they have not committed already is, in my opinion, one of the biggest bugs I have with this game. That there's no reason these guys should not have committed already, especially the ones that visited. Like, come on, what are we doing? All right, let's not waste any time and just advance through the playoff. I was about to say I'd almost rather get blown out, but nah. I think we knew we could get them close. It's just a shame. Chris Davies commits, just Tennessee depth linebacker. Nothing really to get exciting about. It should be noted, I mean, Maryland, it looks like they're no longer doing their best pitch for Mayfield, so probably going to get him. But these guys have what? Yeah, if these guys don't commit next week, then they're waiting to the transfer portal. It looks like Carlo Mann and Jorge Mann won't commit, which is annoying. Mayfield, Boykins, Costello might. Second round of the playoffs, James Madison beats Stanford. Bama beat OSU. Notre Dame destroyed Washington. Wow. Then A&M beats Wisconsin. I am rooting for Bama because I'd rather say I lost to the champs than, oh, I lost to a team that lost in the semifinal. It's less fun. No one committed. That means I'm going to have to take all 5 of these guys through into the transfer portal, which is the last thing I want to do. And I'm very tempted to rescind Mayfield's offer to get the money, but we'll see. Okay. National championship game is between Notre Dame and Bama, a rematch of the BCS title game all those years ago. A&M is out. Notre Dame beat the number 6, number 3, and number 2 team to get there. Very good for them. Wow. Every SEC team in my division made a bowl game and won said bowl game. That's awesome. What about the other side? Not as successful. LSU made one and one. Oklahoma lost theirs. Arkansas won theirs. Who did LSU beat? North Carolina. Disgraceful game. All right. Let us advance to the yearly summary. See who won the Natty. My prediction is Bama wins by 7. No, I was mistaken on who the team of destiny was. Notre Dame wins 41-3 over Bama. That is a wow. Oh, Bama had 3 turnovers. Where was that against me? I mean, they turned it over once, but still, goodness gracious. Wow. Well, okay. All right, we do get Coach of the Year. It looks like our final position in the rankings is 13. Georgia and Arkansas finish above us despite not making the playoff. But I mean, it goes without saying, if you'd offered me, hey, you make the playoff, any any program takes that. There are very few to be like, we didn't get the bye. I would take that. So we go 9-4. I think the big thing, in all honesty, is we went 6-3 in conference. Because before that, we won 3 games in the SEC in year one, only 2 in year two, 4 in year 3, and then we just won 6. I think that's really good. I think losing to Bama in the playoff, no shame in that. The manner in which we lost is extremely disappointing. There is zero way around. Like we literally and figuratively fumbled the game away, which is terrible. So we finished 9-4, 6-3 in the SEC. Playoff loss to Bama, despite having only the 62nd ranked offensive football, 31st defense. Very good. We greatly exceeded the 80s expectations, so we are now up to 100 opinion. Fame-based passion goes all the way from a D to a C, which is awesome. Integrity, it's a net of 5 because we didn't win 11 games, so we lose 6 on the Harmon Promise, but we kept all 4 of the others, plus a base of 3, which means we stay at 100 integrity. Pretty good. And I mean, listen, when we promised Harmon we'd win 11 games, that was never about the actual promise. That was about keeping him for a senior year, which, I think he had a better year. The 2 fumbles in the playoff game suck. Okay, let's be clear about that. But he also had 16 touchdowns. Like, come on. Yeah. And I think a special shout out has to be given to Alex Palmer. Like, this was a guy that we hoped could be a future for us at QB. He doesn't have a great offseason game, +5 accuracy. That's very nice. But his arm strength only went up by 1. His IQ only went up by 1. So I was a little worried. And for those of you that watched the episode, my original plan was to give him the first 5 games and see how he did. And he did great. I think really his only bad games, I would say, he didn't do great against South Carolina, had a pick and a fumble. Tennessee, he did okay. He just didn't throw it that well, had a pick. And then the rest of the way, he did great. Even in Bama, I'm sure he had the interception. He had 3 touchdowns and almost 300 yards. Like that loss ain't on him. I think overall, very, very good freshman season. He makes second team all freshman QB. He finishes with a 69% completion percentage, 2,400 yards, 18 touchdowns, only 4 picks. He was sacked 45 times, for crying out loud. So rushing wise, he finished with about, let's say, just over 300 yards rushing. 2 rushing touchdowns, 3 fumbles. I think he's the QB of the future. And with any luck, he'll get an insane boost in the offseason. He's a loyal guy, so I don't need to worry about him transferring. And in all honesty, his overall is never going to be high enough where, he'll jump to the draft after his junior year. So I think Palmer's going to be a 4-year starter for us. And, you know, we're not going to have to worry about QB for a bit. I think that's very, very good. And then we have Cole Kelly coming in. So him and Talon Finley can fight it out for like a backup spot. Marcelo Ray, I'm going to be honest, I'm just going to cut. Like, realistically, there's no real reason to keep him his senior year. I'd rather he go somewhere and play for a year. He only had 9 passes thrown. So, all right, let's get to coaching updates. If I didn't level up like at least 3 times, all right, I leveled up 4. So let's max out recruiting. I'm going to put 2 into training, 1 into defense. I have the chance to swap a skill badge if I want it. All right, what would I replace? 7% increase to O-line, I want to keep. All O-line, pass 2, pass block, I want to keep. Players get 10 plus 10 ball secured, I want to keep. 7% wide receiver, I want to keep. 15% less chance to sustain an injury, maybe. Cerebral skill players, everyone gets plus 2 ball care vision and IQ. Yeah. Yeah, honestly, I mean, I like all of those. And there's none really that, looking at the new badges, I'd want. I mean, maybe I get Bulldozer to bump my O line for run block, but run block wasn't the problem, it was the sacks. QB Whisperer, eh. I think I would rather have cerebral skill players to get a bump to IQ for the QB and then ball care vision to everybody else. Yeah, I think that's the trade. Nah, I think I'm gonna keep my skill badges. Dennis Potter, our second year OC, levels up twice. I'm putting 1 into offense, 1 into recruiting. He gets a new skill badge. Okay, for you, he has Great Wall, just like me. O-line recruiter, which is huge, and block recruiter, which I don't really care about. VIP protection wouldn't be bad. I think it's receiver fundamentals. Just get everyone a plus 2 to catch and route running. I'll take that. Brady Lomax, I have a fear he's about to retire, but we shall see. All right, Coach Carousel. So obviously I'm staying at Vandy. I want to see if we can recreate the success in year 2. Obvious reasons. Dennis Potter wants to keep his options open. Well, okay. I'd like to keep my OC, so I'll keep him under a team lock for 2 years. Brady Lomax, it looks like he's willing to stay, so I'll offer him 2 years flat. Try to keep my longtime defensive coordinator. I have been offered many head coaching jobs, but I don't think any of them are worth leaving Vandy, especially with the success we had last season. And obviously, I'm never going to be an OC again. So we are staying under our current contract. All right. Dennis Potter is retaining. Brady Lomax is retaining. So I'm running back the same offensive coordinator and defensive coordinator. Very good. League coaching changes. Let's check the SEC. Georgia DC is Illinois head coach. South Carolina DC is. The idea that Memphis wouldn't want me as head coach is kind of funny. SEC retirements, nobody. All right, last two things, and then we will wrap. First, players leaving for the draft. Carrera, you're not leaving. Make an All American? You got this, buddy. Odds are he won't, but he did make All Conference, so there is a chance. And I would rather that than give him 1.8 million. So, all right, we have 18 seniors graduating. Let's run through the list. Quarterback, nobody. Running back, Clayton Harmon. I think, unfortunately, he played the worst game of his career in his biggest and last game against Bama. The two fumbles suck, but he was a great running back for us. There's a decent chance he's the best running back I ever got. Nehemiah Ruffin, I mean, look, for 3 years, he was my third, second running back, essentially, and did pretty well. I mean, at one point, I debated releasing him. I'm glad I didn't. And, he averaged the most yards he ever had this year and the least carries. Consistently got a handful of touchdowns every year, only fumbled once. Like, as far as depth running backs go, that's really good production. So we'll definitely miss him. Wide receiver, all we're losing is Kelvin Eaton, who barely played year. He didn't play year one with me, barely played year two, and then the last couple years did pretty okay. Um, Never quite got 500 yards, but got a handful of touchdowns. Averaged 9 yards a catch this year, which isn't nothing. But as far as wide receiver production goes, going to be pretty easy to replace that. Peyton Porter at tight end. I mean, I run the air raid offense. Tight ends are never going to be, a focal point. But one thing I will say, especially this year, he had 86% catch completion, which is awesome. He got a handful of touchdowns. But again, I mean, if you look at his game log, he only got more than 2 catches in 2 games, the loss against Bama and then the win over Pitt. Like, that's it. So, by nature of the offense I run, the tight ends are rarely on the field. Like, I can't see snap percentage, but like you know, barely, barely. Yeah, he had 19% of snaps he was on the field. So, we will miss him. Offensive line. All right, we salute my top 4 linemen, all of them to a man, are graduating. And all of them had pretty similar tracks. Michael Crockett barely played the first couple years, and then this year became one of the best O linemen in the SEC. 27 pancakes, 3 sacks. Phenomenal lineman. Looks like he's going to get drafted, which is cool. Eduardo Cobb, Skylar Casey, and Alan Murphy were just very well rounded O linemen. The first two allowed quite a few sacks, but that is what it is. Emerson Anthony was just pretty solid, dependable depth this season. But yeah, I'm losing essentially an entire starting O line group. So we're gonna have to fix that. Kicker, I am losing my punter. Eduardo Roach, he has been a punter the whole time I've been at Vandy. Overall, been a really good punter. Average mid 40s yard per punt. Hilariously, he punted the exact same amount of yards the past 2 years, which I don't know the statistical likelihood of that, but I feel like it's low. So we will also need a new punter, which is just going to be Blaine next year. But We will miss him. Defensive line. This hurts almost as much as O line. I'm losing my top four guys. Felipe Clark, have a day. Like amazing career with me. Double digit tackles for loss past 3 years. Didn't get a lot of sacks, but pressures were really good. He also got a couple of touchdowns randomly. Don't ask questions. He holds the record for single season defensive TDs, and definitely going in the Ring of Honor. Great player, phenomenal. I mean, he was good for like 3 tackles for loss a game. He had 6 tackles for a loss. Or that's just tackles. He had 4 tackles for loss against South Carolina. Very, very good D lineman. Campaign, kind of similar path. A little bit more of a backup last year, but this year, 50 tackles, 10 for loss, handful of sacks, double digit pressures. Very, very good for him to have a strong senior season. Brian Pierce, we transferred in from Liberty, and unfortunately, he had a leg injury, missed, 5 games. So that was painful. Little unfortunate because he definitely would have had the best numbers of his career had he played in those 5 additional games. And not for nothing, 2 of the losses this season, was when he was out. So that is certainly something. But when he played, he was great. Wish we would have had him for more than 1 year, but what can you do? And then finally, Leo Riddle, who never played it down until this year, where he got 40 tackles, 7 for a loss, 2 sacks, 6 pressures. Love it. Linebacker, we are losing Hayden Wood, who I think, on balance, our most impactful transfer we've ever had. He was my big transfer in year one when I joined Vandy. He came and was a 4-year starter for us. Great guy. Surprisingly bad in coverage this year. I don't quite understand why, but you know, 50 tackles, 10 for loss, 5 sacks, 19 pressures is insane. Was All American this year, All SEC. Great transfer linebacker we were able to get as a freshman. Wyatt Shepard, he was a 2-year transfer after not playing at all in Michigan, comes here, gets 62 tackles, 7 for a loss. He holds multiple records, single season picks, and single picks in a game, 3 and 2, respectfully. So thank you, Michigan, for him. And then finally, Nathan Hoffman, who was a JUCO guy, got 2 years out of him, and he had 53 tackles, 3 sacks. He was targeted 47 times, which is kind of funny, but definitely did better in coverage compared to the year before. Happy for him. Corner, I am losing nobody to graduation. I might be losing a few to transfer, but that's fine. And then safety, Nathaniel Long, who was our backup safety for 3 years. Nothing too crazy. He did get a couple picks, got a sack, forced fumble. Not great in coverage, 66%, 50%, but overall, average backup. Not too great, not too bad. So I think overall for seniors, the biggest losses are obviously running back, because I'm losing Harmon, I'm losing Ruffin. O-line, I'm essentially losing all of my starters. Defensive line, I'm losing my top 3. And then linebacker, I'm losing 3 out of 4. So that's painful. But, we will try to replace them to a man. Okay. And then last thing we are going to do on this stream is we are going to look and see what players are going to leave us and trying to figure out our plan for next season. Because we're going to have, I think, like 12 or so players want to transfer. If I remember, maybe Bowie and Baird no longer want to because they got like the bare minimum. in terms of snap percentage. But we'll take a look here and see. I hope it's under 12, but I have a fear. We'll see. So so the number is 15. All right, let's go through this position by position. So first of all, QB, I'm cutting Marcelo Ray. Um, there's no real point in having him be a backup his senior year. I'd rather just give Finley the backup spot, see what he can do. This way, Marcelo can go play, be a 1 year starter somewhere, and have a good end to his college career. Running back. So Brinkley and Simpson both want to leave. Simpson is gone. Like his ball security is still a 66. It started as a recruit at 60. And in 3 game periods, it's only gone up by 6. And that's with A minus potential. So Simpson is gone. Brinkley, I would like to keep as probably a third running back. 30% of snaps, I think he gets that. He might not get it as a third. We'll see. Maybe he explodes in the offseason and becomes a backup. Okay, wide receiver. So all of my depth guys want to leave. Of the 4, Buchanan is gone. Roy Cobb is gone. So I think the question is, do I want to keep Gates? Do I want to keep Weber? Gates, obviously, he played as a true freshman, played as a sophomore. He caught the Hail Mary against Bama, but his potential is also a D minus. So he's never really going to improve from this. Like his speed's only gone up by 4, his catching has not moved. So there's not a lot of great value in that, but I think he can maybe do the job. 55 targets. I think he probably gets that. Though 55 is a high number because Butler's there, Robertson's there, Gregory is there. 55 is high. What's Hudson Weber want? 50% of snaps. These guys are killing me. I mean, Weber I like. This could be bad. This could be bad. What's Cobb want? Just curious. 25? I mean, I'd almost rather do that because 55 targets, like he'd have to be my third wide receiver, which means he would jump both Page and Gregory. And I don't really want to pay him 1.6 million, so he's gone. Honestly, Roy Cobb, I'll promise him 25 targets because he'll get that as my wide receiver 5 or even 6. So I'm okay with that. Hindsight being 2020, I think even though Aiden Page played 50% of snaps, the fact he only had 22 targets and 16 catches really sucks. Because, like, I essentially burned a year of his eligibility for this production, which is a little rough, but that is what it is. So, yeah, I think Cobb will stay for his senior year. Gates, Buchanan, Weber all leave. That really hurts my wide receiver depth because Joe Fry has F plus potential. Joe Richardson and Hudson Adair are both going to be seniors. Yeah, that's really bad. We're going to definitely need a wide receiver in the transfer portal then. Because Weber, I mean, like if I promise him 50% of snaps, that means he has to be in my top 5. Butler, Robinson are 1 and 2. Gregory's probably 3. Page is 4. Cobb is 5. I think I'm okay letting Weber walk. We'll see. I might double back. But Buchanan is definitely gone, as is Gates, which is a shame because he was a 4-star guy that, we played as a freshman, wanted to see what he can do, and he's going to be gone after 2 years. That hurts. All right, tight end. So I have too many tight ends. This is a fundamental problem. Graves and Tyson will both redshirt. I think if we keep Montiel for his senior year, that means somebody needs to get cut. I debated moving Montiel to O line, but no. 20 targets. How many did Porter get? 22. So, in other words, make him my starting tight end. And I don't think I want to do that. I think I'm fine with him leaving. Now the question becomes I think Christian Van is going to stay in the mix. Oliver Perkins isn't great. His potential has only gotten worse. His catching has improved quite a bit. His blocking is not at all. I think I'm going to cut Perkins. That leaves me with four, which I think is still too many. But there's no point in cutting Williamson. He only just redshirted. Similar with Welsh. So, yeah. Or no, excuse me. That leaves me with three. That's okay. Van, Welch, Williamson. Good calls. All right, O line. So, Malachi Austin wants to leave. The only starter I'm retaining is Hicks. Everyone else was in that backup group. Miles and Compton are run blockers. Hicks was a pass blocker. That said, he allowed 5 sacks. I'd like to keep Malachi Austin. 60%, I can't promise that. I'm going to pay him $500,000. Like 60%, you're in my top five. And I'm not promising that, especially with Desmond Covington coming in, Sergio Mitchell, who just redshirted. Like, come on. And yeah, everyone else is going to stay. I think next year is going to be the year where we play a lot of the kids at O line. Kicker, we're keeping all three, obviously. Larson is going to be my kicker and punter next year. Brady, you hear, redshirt. Easy. D line. Okay. So here's my problem. I am retaining essentially one player that produced, and that was Nicholas Durman. Darren Allen, I would like to keep. He's got a potential. 40% of snaps is kind of rough. Zachary Case wants the same. I think there's a chance Case gets it, but my problem is his strength is a 67. Like that's borderline unplayable, and I don't have great options behind either of those two men. I think Darren Allen, I definitely want to keep. If I pay him, I'm down to 7.6 million in NIL. I'd rather that maybe than 40%. And then Case, I think I'll promise 40% of snaps. I think he'll get that. And then Diego Pierce might also get some playing time. But yeah, D line, we're looking pretty scary. Linebacker, good God. Okay, so Hussein is staying. Reginald Chandler is gone. Like that's happening. He was horrendous in coverage. Sure, he got good tackles for loss, but no. So Brian, Elijah on Caden Sherman. Caden Sherman is also gone. Bad potential. Not great. Elijah on and Brian I'd like to keep. Brian wants 1 million. Promise him snaps. On wants 70%. Promise him snaps. I think they both get 40% pretty easily because I'll play either 5 or 6 linebackers. They'll both be in the top four. So that should be fine. I am making a lot of playing time promises on my defense, which is a little scary, but here we are. Corner. Ooh, Barrett and Bowie don't want to transfer. Thank heavens. I'm at 74 scholarships now. How many uncommitted recruits? 5. I think I'm gonna need to cut some defensive backs. So Montiel wants 40%, which is a fourth corner. That's about the line. So do I think Montiel is going to jump either Bowie or Baird? So I think the answer is no. So I think I'm going to let Montiel go, which sucks. He's great in coverage. He's just so slow. Combs, I'll keep. He has F potential, but he's not bad depth. Alejandro Becker, him I will cut. Sawyer Brewer, I will cut. I know he just redshirted, but I think realistically, we'll move on. So that brings me to how many corners in total? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm good with 8. And that provides opportunity for young guys like Beasley or Gage Friend to maybe play if Mario Combs just doesn't develop at all. I'm okay with that. All right. Safety. Okay, so I have too many safeties. We're in a. Honestly, I might move some of these guys to corner. For being honest, like Cade Nash obviously is the starter. I think one of Xander Richard or Cash Quinn will redshirt. I like Cash Quinn more as a safety. His speed is just horrendous. But also Richard can't really cover. To be fair, I mean that still could be okay if they both redshirt and then they just take over as my 1 and 2 safety for the next 2 years. Julian Pettit redshirt. Actually, I don't know if I need to cut anyone. Because next year Nash is my 1, either Almanza or Allison. I just don't like Allison. He has B plus potential though. I think I might cut Allison. He does have B plus potential, which is encouraging, but like he'd just be my 3rd safety again. And then next year, when my 2 JUCO guys are done, he'd be my 3rd safety again. At that point, I don't think it's worth it to keep him. Yeah, no, I think we cut Allison, and he played in 48% of snaps at safety, so that's not nothing. All right, that brings me to 71. That is pretty low. Because that's 14. I'm bringing in 5 recruits potentially. That means I have to bring in 9 transfers and I only have 7.5 million to give them. Yeah, I think in that case, let's keep Allison for depth. And let's keep Brewer. I think I like that more. All right. So yeah, then I think the last big question is what I do at wide receiver. Because assuming I don't bring anyone in, Butler and Page are seniors, Cobb senior, Gregory and Marcos are juniors. Yeah, the back end of my wide receiver group now is dead if I don't keep Gates. But I also don't think Gates gets 55 targets. So I think they all just go. I mean, maybe I promise Buchanan 25 targets, but like he can't catch. Yeah. Hudson Weber, 50% of snaps. That's not happening. And I don't think. Okay, well, let's play this out. 1, 2, Gregory's 3, Page is 4, Cobb's 5, Weber is 6. Do I think paying Weber $940,000 is worth it to be my 6th wide receiver? And this is a guy whose potential has got worse, but his catching and route running have both exploded. So he could be on a really good track. But again, he'd be my sixth guy. And Roy Cobb is just better. So it's not a question of Cobb versus Weber. When Cobb's gonna have good enough ratings, he'll be fine. Yeah, I think I let all three of them go. That's my list. So of the 15 transfers, 8 are going, which I think is fine. I think I'm paying two of them money, which hurts a little bit. I think it's the correct decision because I don't know if I can guarantee them playing time. I think that's my decision. There we go. All right. Here we sit, 73 scholarships. Let us advance to the draft. And this is also usually an advanced period that goes really, really slow. Do, 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 do. 4 players from Vandy drafted. Harmon goes round 1, pick 16. Hayden Wood goes round 2, pick 4. Felipe Clark round 2, pick 29. And Michael Crockett round 4, pick 8. Nice. Was Harmon the first running back to go? Yes, he was. Wow, only three QBs went in the top 4, and then no QB went until 21. That's very funny. All right, 4 of our guys went. Top player in the transfer portal, 90. That says 92 overall. Lucas Seymour, he wants to win. Mizzou went 4-8 this year, and he is left. That is the highest transfer I've seen in a while. Hold on. OSU has this backup kicker with 86. Who is their starter? Oh, I see. Why would you go after both of these guys? I hate the AI sometimes. Oh, that's hilarious. That's hilarious. So yeah, I mean, in terms of, well, actually, one thing I do want to check for QB, yeah, Marcelo Ray is the third highest QB available in terms of overall, so he'll definitely find a good school there. All right, Hall of Fame inductees, Ring of Honor inductee. Oh yeah, Ring of Honor. Uh, Clayton Harmon. I am gonna put him in the Ring of Honor. I think only having him for 2 years is rough, but man, what 2 years they were. I think he's definitely in it. Hayden Wood, definitely in the Ring of Honor. Like the man had almost 200 career tackles with us. Come on now, get him in there. Felipe Clark, get him in the Ring of Honor. Come on, 164 career tackles, almost 40 tackles for loss. Got 2 defensive touchdowns. Michael Crockett, I don't think will make the Ring of Honor. He really only played for 2 years, and then was a backup in the first one. So, all right. Wow, Dennis Hurd. Hi, buddy. You're welcome, game. You're welcome, Baylor, because I recruited him to Baylor. Then I left. I recruited him to Baylor back when he was a 76 overall C plus potential guy. And he goes on to be one of the best wide receivers in Baylor history. 3,500 career yards, 1,400 yards this year. You're welcome. You are very welcome indeed, Baylor. All right. And that is where we will lead off with the transfer portal. I think, objectively speaking, a great season with a heartbreaking ending. We won 5 of our last 6 games to make it into the playoff. We draw Bama, and all we had to do with 10 minutes remaining was not fumble the game away. And we did just that. But hey, we made the playoff in year 4 at Vandy. That is pretty good. We have 2 SEC and National Coach of the Year awards under our belt. Very good. Hilariously, we still have a sub 50% conference record, but it's fine. We're working on it. And, we did that when our QB was a freshman. So how good is he going to look, when he's a sophomore, let alone when he's had 4 years under his belt and he's ready to take his senior year? Very excited about that. Yeah, I think as far as, clean stopping points go, pretty good one. As a reminder, due to holidays and travel and such, we're taking essentially like a 2 week and change little break. I will still have 2 more Colorado Rocky rebuild episodes this week on Thursday and Friday. But then that's it. We're pausing for about 2 weeks. Pick it back up then in January. But for now, for this series and coordinator climb, we made it to the playoff of Vandy. Think we are officially an SEC threat. But now the question becomes, can we build on it and climb the final hurdle? We'll have to wait to find out. Thank you all for watching. A wonderful episode this was. And so terribly sad. But that is it for me. Thank you all for watching. 2 more Colorado Rockies Rebuilds episodes out this week. If you watched that series also, tune in for those. It's going to be a wild ride. I will see you next time.